So think of it this way. Let's say that I'm a really serious, respected scientist in a university like Harvard or something. And people come to me and they bring me some paranormal studies and some reports. And I read them and I say, no, this is silly. This can't possibly be real. I dismiss it. But people keep bringing me these reports, and there seems to be a certain pattern to these reports. And after a certain while, I start to say, maybe there's something, this is crazy, but maybe there's something to this. I got to investigate this a little deeper. So you go and follow the breadcrumb trail, and you start to investigate a little bit deeper. And you get a little bit more and more convinced. But still, you're not totally convinced. And you tell yourself, I won't be totally convinced until I actually see it and demonstrate it for myself. So then you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to develop some of these abilities. And then you go off and you retire from your university. You go and you find yourself a cave in the Himalayas and you live there for 10 years and you concentrate and meditate for 20 hours a day for the next 10 years and you develop some of these abilities. And you're shocked you actually get some of these abilities. But of course, what happens? You've passed through the event horizon of a black hole. There's no coming back and really convincing everyone else outside of what you discovered. You see this? This is the black hole effect. You don't know what's in the black hole. You enter the black hole. You find out something amazing, but then it's so amazing you want to tell everyone back there outside the hole what's in there, but then you can't because nothing escapes the black hole. You're stuck in there forever. You're in a new reality now. And the only way anybody can understand you is to come through that barrier themselves. But then as soon as they do, they will not be able to convince anyone back home. Imagine that you have developed these powers as this scientist, and now you come back to Harvard, to your university, and you try to convince some of your old colleagues that you developed these abilities. What will happen? Will they believe you? Or will they rationally dismiss you? They will rip apart all your arguments, all your evidence. They will question you, and they will just dismiss you as a kook. They will say, you're one of these scientists. Yeah, you were a scientist. You were a respected scientist. But then when you went off into the Himalayas or when you did some DMT or whatever, you've lost it. You've just become a kook. That's what you've become. And that's how they'll dismiss you. Now, maybe one of those scientists will be open-minded enough to say, hey, you know, this guy was my friend. I really trusted him. I don't think he's just making all this shit up. There must be something to this. Let me follow the breadcrumb trail. So he follows the breadcrumb trail. He goes down the rabbit hole. He moves to the Himalayas. He lives in a cave for 10 years and develops some of these abilities. And as soon as he does, he realizes, oh shit, I'm never going to be able to go back and convince all my colleagues that this is real. And by that point, after 10,000 hours of concentration meditation practice and enlightenment after enlightenment and seeing the most ridiculous and mind-blowing things you could possibly imagine, you have no desire to go back and convince all your colleagues. Science is long gone for you. You're way beyond science at that point. You're way beyond rationality and logic and arguing with people and changing the minds of mainstream culture. You see those people as walking zombies and chimps by that point. You do not even try to reason with those people anymore. That is the black hole effect. And see, this is a very dangerous effect that a lot of people misunderstand. They don't really appreciate the full ramifications of it. And it explains very well how come things like enlightenment or these paranormal abilities don't percolate up into mainstream culture, and they are not well understood by science.